Welcome to the Addison Township Board meeting. Today is Monday, August 21st, 2023 at 6 o'clock. And we're having a meeting at the Addison Township offices, 1440 Rochester Road. Why don't we stand for the pledge, please? Ed, you're our veteran. Please start.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us all together tonight. Please fill us with your wisdom and let us conduct ourselves the way you taught us. Now be with us as we make the decisions, and we ask this in your Son's name. Amen.
Okay, can we have roll call, please?
Karen McDonald. Here. Mary Frost. Here. Linda Garrett. Here. Ed Brakefield.
Yes?
Lori Fisher. Here. Bennett Present. Supervisor Pearson.
Present, all accounted for. Announcements, I guess happy birthday.
Thank you. Doesn't mean much.
I've never had an announcement before, have I?
It was dentist appointment, work all day, and board meeting, so happy birthday to me.
Well, maybe we should take you down to Lakeville Station.
I'm just excited that I had an announcement out of it. Almost 15 years, I've never had an announcement. Anyways, department reports, as usual, they're available in my office. And order of business. Approval of the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll support.
Okay, we have a motion and we have support. Anyone else? Hearing, we have a roll call, please.
Yes. Karen Gatto.
Yes.
Linda Garrett.
Yes.
Ed Brakefield.
Yes.
Mary Frost.
Yes.
Lori Fisher.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes. Consent agenda.
Yes, as I'm reading the consent agenda, if everybody could just take one. These are the closed session minutes and glance at those, and then I'll collect them. So before the board tonight is the consent agenda consisting of the approval for the May 15th closed minutes, July 17th and July 25th, 2023, April, July invoices, approval of the July invoices, affirmation and resolution authorizing the acceptance of the United States Department of Homeland Security grant.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as written.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. You need these back,
Yep.
correct? Okay.
Please. Agenda. I have extra. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Not hearing any, could we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Mary Frost.
Yes.
Karen Gatto.
Yes.
Linda Garrett.
Yes.
Ed Brakefield.
Yes?
Lori Fisher.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes, that passes. Now we'll move on to item number 2, is the RFP response for the Addison Township Park with the authorization to proceed. We authorized the RFP for the pickleball courts and walking path. We received 2 responses. Funding for this project is $100,000 from Oakland County Matching Fund, $100,000 from General Fund Community Development, and the remaining balance from park ARPA funds and some of the citizens who donated for the pickleball courts. Well, first of all, I'd recommend that we go with the low bidder. I think everybody has the bids in there for obvious reasons. I also asked, similar to the bill that you allow, that we might be able to change some orders or whatever with my approval and the engineer sign off, as long as we don't exceed $5,000. That gives me a little cushion to go for a few extras if something should arise. So what I'm looking for is a motion to award the RFP to, I believe, lowest bidder WCI contract is not to exceed the $286,700.
I'll go with that.
Since you're refusing to put my Olympic-sized swimming pool, I guess we'll have to go ahead with it then.
No, we'll just come to your house, so I think.
It's not Olympic-sized, it's half-size, but anyway.
I'll do the motion because we gotta
I'll second
actually
it.
say where the money's coming from too. I'll move to award the RFP to WCI contractors not to exceed $200,086,700 and contingent upon legal and engineer satisfied with the final documents. This motion will also allow the supervisor and the engineer approval for change orders that do not exceed $5,000 for an increase. And then we budgeted way back in March, $200,000 will come from the general fund community development. Of course, $100,000 is from Oakland County grant. And then the remaining balance of $86,700 from the park ARPA funds and the donation that the township received for the pickleball courts.
I'll second
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Any discussion?
I'm just curious, have we ever had WCI contractors do any work for the township in the past at all? I'm just curious.
They are the same company that has done the parks in Oakland Township and the Detroit Zoo and Detroit City. They've done many of these. It's a big company. All of the Lost Lake over on Predmore. They've also done the one, I think, at Twin Lakes, and they've put in pickleball courts before, so.
I see it's hard to get people to respond. I don't know if it's because it's the process or if everyone's too busy. Because like with the planners, 16 went out, 4 came back. This one, 13 went out, 2 came back. So
Yeah.
everybody's kind of busy too.
Okay, any other questions? Not hearing any, then could I have roll call, please?
Linda Garrett,
Yes.
Ed Brightfield,
Yes.
Karen Dottie,
Yes.
Mary Frost,
Yes.
Lori Fisher,
Yes.
Bennett, yes, Supervisor Pearson.
Yes, and that passes. Let's go on to item number 3. Let's authorize the planner and planning commission to review the following: Article 25, Article 4.49, Article 4.16, Article 24, Article 27, Article 28, applications, timeframes for waste treatment plants. I think this is a very good idea. I think we need to tighten up our ordinances on this a little bit. I know Pauline deals with a lot of this with land development parts of it, but it has to do with the private waste treatment plants, as you know. We have some issues. We didn't issue the permit. Somebody at the state or whatever issued some of these permits, and now we're having to deal with the issues here. I think we need to tighten up our ordinances so that we all know when somebody applies where we're going with this, so that we don't get one of these plants without our consent, and then we have to deal with fallout. So,
Most of these that are on the list though are basically cleaning house, and then you're right, that private wastewater treatment plants is really a review for the planning commission to see where we can go with them.
Yeah, we're just upgrading what we have now, right?
correct.
All of these except for the private waste treatment, correct? We're just kind of taking house cleaning to those.
Does anybody have any questions?
No, but I'd like to make a motion, however, do you have one already written out, Pauline, that would fit this?
You could read the,
Because I want to make sure it's
the
accurate.
agenda. I know, but if you read the agenda, you got your motion.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we authorize the planner and planning commission to review the following: Article 25, Article 4.49, Article 4.16, Article 24, Article 27, Article 28, and applications, timeframes, and waste treatment plants.
Can we have private?
See, I told you, private.
It wasn't in the agenda in my ear.
Okay,
Private-
we're
Private
private,
waste treatment plants.
private waste treatment plants. I'll change my motion to that.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Not hearing, could we have roll call on that, please?
Yes, Mary Frost,
Yes.
Karen Dottie.
Yes.
Linda Garrett,
Yes.
Ed Brightfield,
Yes.
Lori Fisher,
Yes.
Bennett, yes, Supervisor Pearson.
Yes, and that passes. Okay, we'll move on to item number 4, and I see that I have Mr. Azzarelli here, who is the president, I believe, of the library. What I'm asking for here is to authorize the supervisor to enter into negotiations for possible purchase of the property which is across the street here. As everyone knows, the library now has a new location on Lakeville Road, and we're working on details on there for the build of that. And I think this property across the street here is an ideal thing that the township could use as a park. It does have a little bit of water frontage. I believe that we could possibly put in a small dock there for people to launch kayaks or something like that. And it would be a township park, so we could limit it to our township residents. And I just think it's a great idea, and will also facilitate the library for building on a much better piece of property. And this is, I think, good park property. The building of it is very difficult, and I know the library ran into those issues. What I'm asking for is if you let me just negotiate, go forward and find out what the price would be and everything with the library, then come back and explain it to the board and then see what you guys think of it.
I'm good with that. I'll make that motion. Plus, we do still have some of the ARPA funds in the park area that we put in. A motion to authorize the supervisor to enter into negotiations for possible purchase of 0527254007 and 0527256009, and bring back to the board the final results of the negotiations.
I'll support.
We have a motion and we have support. And I will just add that I've already gone ahead and contacted the person who donated the property and his family, and I've also contacted their attorney, and I've also contacted our attorney. And this is an in-kind donation where it's going from government agency to government agency, so it all is proper, and it can go forward there. So I did do our due diligence ahead of time to make sure that this was would not interfere with the donation process, which it does not. So we have a motion and we have a second. Does anybody have any questions? Not hearing any. Could I have roll call, please?
Yes, Karen Gunn,
Yes.
Mary Frost,
Yes.
Ed Rayfield,
Yes.
Linda Garrett,
Yes.
Lori Fisher,
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes. I guess, I don't know if you have anything to say or anything, but I will meet with you and hopefully we'll see. Then you can go back to your board and you and I can figure out how you want to proceed with this, and I'll get with you on it, okay?
Yeah.
Or you get with me and we'll meet in my office and then we'll go, we'll get a hold of our attorneys and find out what we need to do, okay?
Yeah, is there if I just say a few
Yes.
things about it? Yeah. James Osterelli, president of the library board, current president. So yeah, I mean, this was in the works, and like Bruce said, I'm not gonna reiterate a lot of it, but with it being a donated property, it was kind of iffy, but it was a gray area of what we could do with it, because the intentions for donating were to build a library on it. So Bruce had conversations with the donor. With our limited restrictions, this could be a good option. It would help with funding the construction on the new property. We feel we're doing our due diligence, just not spending a whole lot of money to fill in a hole to be able to put a library on it. I think we're gonna have a much better opportunity on the new land, and we're hoping, talking to some of our engineers, that this week, if not maybe next week, we'll be able to submit for the site plan application, special use and site plan. So this would just really help that project a lot, being able to get it into better hands or equivalent hands, and so it has good community usage, and then help bring that home to the library on another lot. I think it's just as good.
And I will add that because it does have some lake frontage, it also has benefits. It's a low impact use for the people who live on the lake. It also gives an opportunity that we will now have a small stink in the lake, and so maybe we can, help a little more with the lake, because we'll have our residents able to put a kayak or a canoe or whatever on there on our own property. So if that will work, that probably would be a good thing for all of us.
Yeah, and I do know the residents kind of enjoy it already. They have little paths walking through there and stuff, so I think keeping it as, as a little walking path, nature park, however it slightly gets developed, I think that it's gonna fit perfect in that area.
Okay, well, thank you. So you go back to your library board and let them know that,
Absolutely.
that we're moving forward. Okay, we already had the roll call on that, so, public forum, anybody in the public would like to speak? I guess we just had, only one person want to speak. Okay, Addison Township board reports. Anybody on any boards have anything to talk about?
I got 3.
Oh, Ron.
She's been busy.
Okay, go
Does
ahead.
everybody want to know what the pallet was for. So Mary actually noticed that the cemetery sign was just peeling really, really bad. So anyways, it is a state sign, so we do have to go through Ohio to get it replaced. So that's what this is for. They're gonna come and pick it up and they're gonna redo the cemetery sign, the historical marker. The drop box was installed by Bob and 4 or 5 people from the fire department, so they did a great job. But first was the cement the previous month, which puts it all together. And then,
And I'm not an Italian.
yeah, I did ask you that question too. And then the county agreement for elections, that's gonna be coming up in September, where all of us are gonna go forward and sign the agreement. That's it.
Okay, anybody else? Any other boards? Nothing? Everything kind of quiet. Okay, legal reports. We have any legal reports, communications? None? Just a supervisor's report. I did notice that we had an electric outage again, but it was confined to the Haven Road north of Leonard Road where it's dense woods. And it went up to Rochester Road, up to Boardman there, and I did see the report that it was tree damage that did that. And I know it's very hard to maintain all of the trees, especially up in that north end by the park, because it is heavily forested. So, but I did notice that there were some people who were complaining that they were out of electricity again, but I believe it was like 25 people, 25 homes that were out. And I will address that though, that maybe they can go up there and try to cut more trees, but you have to understand that this is a heavily forested area. And it's very hard, unless people let us cut the whole thing back, the width of the height of a tree, that's the only way to prevent that. But anyways, I did notice that. I did contact the road commission. I had some people that had some complaints on the roads up, especially around Leonard Road and Lake George, and I did address that with them. I did see that they went out and they dug deeper with their road graders because people are complaining that they're not going down deep enough. I don't know enough about road grading to be a judge on that, but I did contact them, and they did go back up there, and the major roads are scheduled to be done, which is the Class A roads, Lake George and Oakwood and Mac. They're scheduled to be done this week or early next week to be redone anyhow. But the side roads, I have to explain, I drive them on a regular basis to check, because I do get complaints, and they are in pretty darn good shape compared to the years past. So I have to give a shout out to the Jason, who is the foreman. Every time I call him, he does respond, and he calls me right back every single time, and he gets somebody out there. So that I have to say that he's done an excellent job. And if anybody has any complaints, let me know, because I do have a direct line to him, and he does fix stuff. But other than that, I don't have anything else to say, so what I'm looking for is a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion, we adjourn.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. Next meeting, September 18th, can you believe it?